He didn't come for the tournament. He didn't come for the trophy. Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, stepped inside Roland Garros before a single match had even begun, and in an instant, every gaze in the stadium shifted to one unexpected figure. Not a Grand Slam champion, not a top seed, a 20-year-old Filipino tennis player named Alex Eala. There was no public announcement, no media buildup. Even security moved in silence. Tournament staff had been instructed to keep everything under wraps. Yet, one truth was clear. When a head of state appears at a sporting venue, it is never without purpose. It was May 18, 2026. The red clay of Court Philippe Chatrier had just been prepared, its surface still pristine under the early Paris atmosphere. The main draw of Roland Garros wouldn't begin until May 24th, but the ground were already alive with practice sessions, qualifiers, and the quiet tension that precedes a Grand Slam. On one of the courts, Alex Eala was deep into her training routine. Sharp footwork, clean ball striking, unshaken focus. She had no idea she was being watched. Eala entered Paris ranked number 38 in the world, rising from number 42 just weeks earlier after a breakthrough run in Rome. There, she stunned Magdalena Frech, defeated Wang Xinyu, and pushed world number 2 Elena Rybakina to 3 in 10 sets. The results were impressive, but they still didn't fully explain what was happening around her, because in Rome, something shifted. The Filipino community showed up in force. Flags waving, chants echoing, emotion pouring to the stands. It didn't feel like a neutral tournament anymore. It felt like home, like identity, like recognition. The world began calling it the Eala effect, and that effect had reached Paris. "She's different, isn't she?" Macron said quietly to an official beside him, his eyes fixed on the court. "Yes, Mr. President. I've seen the footage from Rome, the flags, the chants, the emotion. I wanted to see it myself." "You're seeing it now, sir. Even without a crowd, you can feel it. She carries something beyond tennis." For nearly an hour, Macron watched in silence. No phone, no interruptions, just observation. When Eala finally finished her session and reached for her bag, unaware of what was unfolding beyond the court, the president stood up. "I would like to meet her," he said. A pause followed. "Mr. President, she's a qualifier, not yet seated. I don't care about rankings." He continued calmly. The Filipino community in France is one of the largest in Europe. They work, they sacrifice, they build lives here. And in Alex Eala, they see something of themselves. I want to acknowledge that. Moments later, the area was quietly cleared. Media were escorted away. Security formed a control perimeter. And when Eala looked up, the president of France was standing in front of her. "Miss Eala," he said, extending his hand. "It is an honor." She had met celebrities before. Global icons, athletes, entertainers. But never a head of state, and certainly not one in the country hosting her Grand Slam campaign. Her voice caught slightly. "Mr. President, the honor is mine." Macron didn't speak about rankings or results. He spoke about people, about Filipino nurses, caregivers, engineers, workers across France who built lives far from home, and how, through her, they were suddenly seen on a global stage. "What you created," he told her, "is more than a following. It is a sense of belonging." Eala didn't respond immediately. She couldn't, because moments like this don't ask for replies, only presence. Later that day, during a press briefing at Roland Garros, the media expected routine updates, scheduling, logistics, match preparations. Instead, Emmanuel Macron stepped up to the podium. "I have seen many athletes compete on French soil," he began. "Champions in football, cycling, and tennis." He paused. "But rarely have I seen an athlete connect an entire community the way Alex Eala has connected with the Filipino people." The room fell silent. In Rome, she didn't just play tennis. She created a homecoming for people who had long lived far from where they came from. France is a nation built by migration, by sacrifice, by stories of rebuilding. The Filipino community is part of that story. He looked up, and that story deserves recognition. What followed next would send shockwaves far beyond Roland Garros. A silence fell across the Roland Garros press room. Then came the announcement that changed everything. A €750,000 grant will be established in Alex Eala's name. funded by the Republic of France in partnership with cultural development programs supporting Filipino communities. Gasps echoed through the room, not polite reactions. Real, stunned silence broken only by disbelief from journalists who had covered tennis for decades. Because Alex Eala hadn't played a single match at Roland Garros yet. She hadn't lifted a trophy. She hadn't reached a final. But in that moment, something far bigger than results was being acknowledged. She may win. She may lose. Macron continued. But she has already achieved something more important. She has touched the hearts of our people. And for that, we are grateful. The WTA officials in attendance sat frozen. In over 20 years of professional women's tennis, nothing like this had ever happened. A head of state announcing a financial grant of this magnitude in the name of a player who had not yet competed in the tournament. One official leaned toward another, still processing it. This isn't about results, he whispered. It's about impact, and we've been measuring the wrong things. That realization lingered in the room, heavy and unavoidable, long after the microphones were turned off. From Paris to Manila, the news spread instantly, faster than any rally, faster than any scoreboard update. A caregiver named Maria in Lyon, originally from Quezon City, saw it on her phone during a short work break. She stepped into a hallway and broke down in tears. For 12 years I've worked here, she said quietly. I've missed birthdays, funerals, Christmases. I always felt invisible. And now, a Filipino athlete has her name honored by the French president, not because she won, but because she represents us. Within hours, #AlexGrant trended worldwide. In Filipino households across continents, news anchors struggled to finish sentences without emotion. In Paris, members of the Filipino community gathered outside Roland Garros, waving flags, chanting softly, not celebrating a victory, but something more fragile, recognition. And then, when the cameras were gone and the officials had returned inside, Alex Eala herself appeared outside the stadium. No spotlight, no media line, just people. She walked past security, past coaches, past staff, straight toward the crowd still waiting behind the barriers. Thank you, she said. Her voice was steady. Her eyes weren't. Thank you for never giving up on me, for traveling, for waiting, for believing when there was nothing guaranteed. The crowd erupted. She raised her hand gently, asking for silence, and they listened. This grant is not just for me, she continued. It is for every Filipino child who dreams beyond their circumstances, for every OFW who sacrifices everything for their family, for every person who has ever felt unseen. Her breath shook for a moment. I may lose early here. I may not win this tournament. But I promise you this. I will fight for every point. I will not quit. And I will carry all of you with me. The chant started slowly. Lou and Alex. Lou and Alex. Then louder. Stronger. Unstoppable. Before a single match had been played, before the draw was even finalized, Alex Eala had already stepped into something bigger than tennis. A moment that could not be ranked. A story that could not be measured. A €750,000 grant carried her name, but belonged to millions. Nurses, engineers, caregivers, workers, dreamers. People who had spent years feeling invisible until now. And as Eala prepared to step onto the red clay of Roland Garros, one question lingered in the air. Was she playing for herself or for everyone who would ever believe in her? Maybe the answer was simple. Maybe it was both. And maybe it always had been.